Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome once again to another episode of Bhagavad Gita Discussions, which is a program of the International Gita Forum Caribbean and IETV. We are now at program number 15 and we are starting chapter 10. Again today in studio is our most intellectual and learned Pandit, Shri Vickramaditya Maharaj, who is the consultant to the International Gita Forum Caribbean and a senior Pandit in Trinidad and Tobago, who has been sharing his thoughts and his perspectives on Bhagavad Gita in this series as we go forward. We're now beginning chapter 10, and I invite Panditji to please begin our discussions.
In chapter 9, Lord Krishna had established in the mind of Arjuna by using verse 23, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhatta prayachati tadaham bhaktopahritna ashnami prayatmanaha. How simple it is, without major rituals, how simple it is for the individual to become one with him. And having established that in the mind of Arjuna, Lord Krishna begins chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, where Shri Bhagavan Uvach, Lord Krishna says, Bhoya eva mahabaho shanume paramam vachaha yatateham priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamyaya. He says once again, Arjuna, listen to my supreme word. And I explain these things to you because I want to do something that is good for you. Now that is a very interesting statement. For ordinary individuals, why would I want to do something to cause another person harm or to get you into bad company? Lord Krishna is saying, I want to do something good for you. And for this reason, I am explaining these things. Namavidu gurasanaha prabhavamana maharshaya ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. He says the Devatas, the great rishis, they do not know me. Because I am the source of the Devatas. I am the source of the rishis. Now Lord Krishna is clearly stating here that the Devatas who are very close to God and the rishis who are very close to God, they don't know God because they came after God. There is a beautiful verse in the Rig Veda. Ko adadha veda iha vochata kuta ajata kuta iyam visrishta. Who in this world clearly knows? Who can proclaim when this universe was born? Who can state where this creation has gone from there to now? Only the Devatas have a clue. And even them do not fully know because they came after the creation. This is what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna. The Devatas don't know me because they came after me.
They all come after creation, yeah.
Yeah, so how are you going to know when it was created?
Yeah.
When you were a 5-year-old boy or 6-year-old boy going to school and they tell you write down on a paper your name and your date of birth, you might be able to know that. You might know it, so you write it. Well,
but again, my knowing my date of birth would be because someone told me.
Well, they have given you that information.
Yeah.
But what they didn't give you is your father's date of birth.
Yeah.
So you cannot write your father's date of birth. So how would you know your father's date of birth? You have to go back to find it.
Yeah.
So he says, even though the Devatas have found me, even though the Rishis have found me, they know that I am the source, I am their source. Correct. So they were not looking for the origin of creation. They were looking for the source of their existence.
Because the world begins with them, for them.
For them,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they found that I am their source. But they do not know before that how long it existed. Yo mamajam manadim cha vetitaloka maheshwaram asanamoda samarteshu sarva pape primuchyati. the individual or the devotee who knows me as the unborn one, the one, beginningless one. I am the Lord of the three worlds. Such an individual will be freed from all sins. Such an individual will be freed from all illusions. Now the next two verses we will do in one.
Yeah.
As one verse, and I'll explain that why we do it. Buddhira jnanam asana moha kshama satyam dama shamaha sukam dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayamacha bhayamevacha ahimsa saptamatushtastapodanam yasho yasha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matata eva pritagavidaha. Here Lord Krishna says, in these two verses, he has described 20 emotions. In these two verses. The first is buddhi. The second is gyan. What is buddhi? Now buddhi is the ability to analyze things properly. That is what is buddhi. Gyan, to establish that which is material and that which is spiritual. Two different things. So when people talk about gyan, gyan means you could sift out materialistic,
discriminate between, yeah,
and spiritual. Asana moha, to be free from confusion. 4, kshama, the ability to forgive. Satya, the ability to always declare the truth. Dham, to restrain the senses from sense objects. Sham, the control of mind. Sukh, the emotion of joy and delight. Dukh, the emotion of sorrow and affliction. Bhava, perception of existence. I am. This I, that is bhava. Abhava, experience of death. Bhaya, fear from oncoming difficulties. Abhay, freedom from fear. Ahimsa, abstinence from injury in thought, in word, and in deed. Samta, equanimity of good and bad situations. Tushti, contentment. Tap, voluntary penance for spiritual benefit. Now, in most homes, you have people living who are not vegetarians. And when you tell the children in that home, well, look, you have to fast for now 21 days because we're having puja coming up. That fast, if they do it, I mean, in all honesty, they do it. That is voluntary penance. But if they bunbunawe about it, what you benefit from that? Nothing. Dan, to give charity to those who are worthy of it. Yash, fame which comes from good qualities. Mahatma Gandhi was famous, so too was Adolf Hitler. Yeah. But they were both famous for two different things. Ayash, infamy from bad qualities. Well, you could quote Hitler now. Those are the qualities that Lord Krishna describes to Arjuna. Now he goes on to say, Maharashaya sapta purave chatavaro manavastatha madabhava manasa jata ye shamaloka ima praja. That the Bhagavad Gita describes 25 people, 25 individuals. And these 25 individuals, he goes on to say, these were elevated individuals. whatever they wanted, they didn't have to get it through how we will get it. They just wish it to happen and it happened. There were 25 such individuals. And these 25 individuals, the first one is the Saptarishis. Now the Saptarishis would change in every yuga. One or two will remain the same for the 4 yuga. But at the time of the Bhagavad, or the time of the Gita, the Saptarishis were Marichi, Angira, Atri, Pulasta, Pulaha, Kratu, and Vasisht. Those were the Saptarishis. And then he goes on to say, Swayambhu, Manu, Swarosh, Uttam, Tamas, Raivat, Chakshush, Vaivaswat, Sarvani, Daksha Sarvani, Brahma Sarvani, Dharma Sarvani, Rudraputra, Rochya, and Bhautya. Those were the 14 Manus.
14 Manus.
Right? And then he goes on to say that these individuals, they were created by me for a purpose. That they assisted in the creation of this world. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetiti tatvata so vikampena yogena yujyate natra sankshayaha. He said, O Arjun, he who knows the truth, this glory and this power of mine, they have been blessed to acquire this knowledge. Aham saravasya prabhavo matata sarava pravartate iti matva bhajanta mama buddha bhava samanvitaha. And they all know the same thing, Arjun, that I am the source, I am the origin of all, and that everything in this universe evolves around me. The wise know this, and the wise man worships me. Machachitata madagata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantastamam nityam tushyanti charamanti chaha. With your mind fixed upon me, Arjun, with their life absorbed in me, they would enlighten each other. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that phrase, enlightening each other. Whatever you know, when you die, it dies with you. If you have not taught it to anybody, it dies with you. That is not what knowledge is for.
It's to be shared.
Knowledge is to be shared. Otherwise, if when you go to school, teachers never taught you anything, we would have had a nation of morons. And this country has produced some of the most brilliant minds in the world, contrary to what a lot of people think. Sharing, enlightening each other, speaking about me, and they are very contented, they are very delighted, they are contented to receive this knowledge of God, and they are delighted to share this knowledge of God, so they could all be on the same wavelength. Tesham satattayuktanam bhajatamam priti purvakam dadami buddha yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those devotees, Arjun, worshipping me with love. Love and devotion is called bhakti. With that yoga of discrimination, they come to me, Arjun. Teshameva nukam partha mahamma jnanajam tamaha nashayam yatna bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvataha. And out of compassion, pure compassion for these devotees dwelling in their hearts, I destroy this ignorance, which is this darkness that exists in them, that is called agyanta or ignorance. I destroy it. And I destroy it using what? The lamp of wisdom. Jivitam Jyoti. May this light grow. May this knowledge grow. I am the one who does that. In reading what is called the Vedanta Darshan, there is a beautiful thing. Vishishyano grahasya. Only through the grace of God can we acquire divine knowledge. Divine knowledge is not in a book. No book has divine knowledge. everybody could read the same book and get nothing out of it.
Yeah, get different opinions.
Hold on, they'll get nothing out of it. And everybody who read it, there is a message for them. Everybody have an individual message that you believe that the author deliberately wrote that for you. And if you find that in any book, that is a good book to keep. That is a good book to read. Hearing these words now, Arjun responds to Lord Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purushama Shashvatama Dibya Madi Devamajam Vibhum. You are the Supreme Brahman. You are the Supreme Abode, the Supreme Purifier, the Eternal One, the Divine Purush, the Primeval Deity, the Unborn, the Omnipresent. Ahustam Rishaya Sarave Deva Rishinarada Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayamachaiva Bravimime. All the rishis have acclaimed you. So too, Narad Muni, Deval, Asit, Vyas, they have all proclaimed who you are. And now today, you are telling me the same thing. Sarvameta Dridam Manye Yanamam Vadasi Keshava Nahi me Bhagavana Vyaktim Vidura Deva Chadanavaha. I hold what you say to me as true. O Keshav, neither the Devatas nor the Danavas know your very manifestation. Swayamevatmanatmanam veta katvam purushotama bhota bhavanna bhutesha deva deve jagatapati. You alone know who you are. O Purushottam, the source of all beings, the Lord of all beings, the God of gods, and the ruler of the world. Verse 16, Arjun now asks his question, which is question number 11 in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Vattum marasya sheshena dibya hyatma vibhutaya yabi virabhuta viraloka matvam pyapyatishtati. Give me a précis of your divine glories, because there is no end to the divine glories. So Arjun knew that his time was limited before this war started. So he says, condense it for me. That how you remain pervading in this world. Kattama vidya mahama yogis tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintayosi bhagavan maya. How may I know you, O great yogi? By constant meditation? How am I to think about you, your presence? Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janaradan boya katyatriptarate shanavato nasti me mritam. Tell me again in detail, O Janardan, your yogic powers. Explain them to me. My mind is not satisfied. My mind is not filled in hearing of your glories. And that is what makes a true devotee. You know, when we were growing up, we should be going here. I don't want to call no pundit name. But for you and I, in this discussion, right? Pandit Maniedeo was reading Ramayana Monday night. Let me go and hear him. So we go and hear Pandit Maniedeo. And 1 year later, we're going to hear Pandit Maniedeo read Ramayana. And here the second person, what are we going to hear Maniedeo Monday night for? He go read the same thing he read last year Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, so they have never opened up the Ramayana as such. So we knew exactly, if we go Friday night, what we're going to hear. If we go Saturday night, what we're going to hear. And it becomes monotonous. And instead of drawing people towards us, that pushed people away from us. So this is why Arjuna is saying, I am not satisfied. I am not filled. Because whenever I hear you, I hear something that infuses my life. And immediately, Sri Bhagavan Uvach, Hantame katayashyami dibya hyatma vibhutaya pradanyat kuru shreshta nastyanto vistarasyami. Very well, Arjun. I will now tell you of my divine glories. First, there is no end to my manifestation. There is no end to it. As Sant Goswami Tulsidas wrote, Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. God is boundless. More boundless than God are the Leelas of God. That the more you write about them, the more you read about them, is the more it goes further. It's like a mirage. You always feel it have a water in front of you, and the more you walk, the further the water going from you. But you never stop searching for it. He says to Arjun, Ahamatma Guda Keshe Sarva Bhota Shayastatha Ahamadishta Madhyamcha Bhotanamanta Evacha. I am the one, O Arjun, who is seated in the heart of each and every one. And we could go forward to chapter 18, verse 61 or 62. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Mridesha Arjun Tishtati. I am the one seated in the heart of each and every one. Here he says, I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am also the end of all life in this universe. They all come from me, they all exist because of me, and in the end they are supposed to merge back into me. Aditya namaham Vishnur Jyotisham Raviransuman Marichi Maruta Chasmi Nakshatrana Maham Shashi. There are 12 Adityas. Adityas is the sun that we worship, Surya Dev. There are 12 Surya Dev, not 12 Surya Dev. There are 12 names of Surya. He says, I am the one that is called Vishnu. And the one that is called Vishnu, I am that one. I am Marichi of the Maruts, of the 49 Maruts. I am the one that is called Marichi. Of the embodiment of penance, I am Chandrama. Chandrama, moon. You see, why this name Vishnu is so important of the 12 Adityas? Because Vishnu is worshipped in the month, what we call English, January. In that month, which is December into January. And when you chant the Vishnu Sahasranam, in the 258th verse of the Vishnu Sahasranam, the word Surya appears. 258 verse. That is where Surya name. And Lord Vishnu himself became Surya Narayan. So this is why this name is so important, so powerful, that even, you know what is very strange? They say even when a person dies or when death ceremonies are performed, people say, yeah, Gita is for dead people. That is not true. You could read Devi Bhagavad. You could read Ramayana. You could read Shiv Puran. But there are certain kathas you are allowed to read during the performance of these things, all connecting to one source. Vedanam sama vedasmi devananastya vasava indriyanam manaschasmi bhutanamasti chetanaha. Of the Vedas, I am the Samved. Amongst the Devatas, I am Vasav. Vasav is Lord Indra. Of the senses, I am the mind. And amongst living beings, I am consciousness. Rudranam Shankarachasmi Vitatesho Yaksharakshasam Basunam Pavakachasmi Meru Shikarinamaham. Of the Rudras, I am Shankar. There are 11 Rudras. I am the one that is worshipped by Shankar. Of the Yaksh and the Rakshas, know me to be Kubir. Kubir wasn't a Devata. Kubir was a Rakshas. So when we tell people pray to the God of wealth, you're not praying to God, you're praying to the devil. Because money has a nice way of corrupting people. Nobody says money corrupt. No, the love for it is what corrupts you. Then he goes on to say, of the Vasus, I am Pavak. And of the mountains, know me to be Mount Meru. Purodasam chamukyamam vidiparta brihaspatim senani namahamaskanda Sarasamasmiya Sagara. Of all the Pandits, know me to be Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the guru of all celestial beings. Of the generals in warfare, know me to be Swami Kartik. And of the bodies of water that exist, know me to be the ocean.
At this point, Panditji, we would take our break as we are halfway in the chapter, and then we would continue. You are viewing Gita discussions. We now take our break for our messages and we return. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome back. We are on program number 15, chapter 10, and we have just completed verse 24. Panditji, we continue from this point.
Yes, verse 24 says that of the Pandits, know me to be Brihaspati. Of the generals, know me to be Skand. And of the bodies of water, know me to be the ocean. Now, a lot of people believe they could control the ocean. I mean, even right now as we speak, there is a search going on for this mini submarine that get lost, trying to go and view the Titanic. It disappeared. And only watching the news, we realize how, and this is according to them, how deep and powerful this ocean is. The ocean, you cannot, nobody could really control that. That has to have divine power to control that. Maharishi Nam Briguraham Giramasye Karakshasam Yagyanam Japayagyasmi Stavaranam Himalaya. Of the great rishis, the Sapta rishis, know me to be Brigu. And why did he specify Brigu? Because according to meditation, the highest form of consciousness that you could reach is called Brigu. Of the mantras that we chant, the monosyllable Om, I am Om. Of the yagya that we perform, I am Japa, the constant chanting of the name. And of those things that cannot be moved, know me to be the Himalayan mountain range. Ashwata Sarva Vrikshanam Devarishinam Chanarada Gandharavanam Chitrarata Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. Of the trees that exist, know me to be the fig tree. Not the fig tree we think in Trinidad as fig tree. What you have in Trinidad is banana. That is not fig tree. Fig tree is really the peepal tree. That is called the fig tree. Of the Deva Rishis, I am Narad. Of the celestial beings, know me to be Chitrarata. And of the Siddhas, know me to be Kapil Muni. Now there is a lot of explanation given on Kapil Muni in the Bhagavad Puran, and he is the, I won't say the author, but he is the authority on what is called Sankhya Yoga. Kapil Muni was the one who delivered the Gita to Devahuti in the Bhagavad Puran. Uchchai Shravanamashwanam Viddimama Brihudbhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranamacha Naradipam. Of the horses, know me to be that one which came from the ocean of milk when it was being churned. Of the elephants, know me to be Airavat. Airavat is the elephant of Lord Indra. And of humans, know me to be the monarch, the king. Ayudanamaham vajram dhenu namasmi kamduka prajanaya chasmi kandarapa sarapanamasmi vasuki. Of the weapons that exist, know me to be the thunderbolt. Of the cows, know me to be Kamadhenu. Know me to be Kandarpa. Kandarpa is Cupid, what we call Cupid or Kamadeo. And of the serpents, I am Vasuki. Anantachasminaganam varuno yadasamaham pitrina arayamachasmi yamasanyammatamaham. Of the Nagas, know me to be Ananta. Of the water devatas, know me to be Varun. Of the Pitris, I am Aryam. And of the controllers, I am Yama, the god of death. Now, when we do Shraddha for individuals, anybody that, we do Shraddha for these individuals, all the offerings that we offer, it must go through Aryam. It has to pass through him. And one of the things that is offered to Aryam, I mean, we all do it. When we do Shraddha, we tell people, put a cup of tea, put some sweet drink, put some water. You understand what I'm saying? But whatever is put there in memory of ancestors, it should be boiling hot. Not cold, boiling hot. Aryam. Prahalad chasmi daityanam kala kala yatamaham mrigandranam chamrigendroham vainate yashtapakshinam. Of the Daityas, know me to be Prahalad. Of the Reckoners, know me to be Time. Of the beasts in the jungle, know me to be the lion. And of the birds, know me to be the eagle. Pavana pavatamasmi ramashastra vritamaham jakshanam makadachasmi trotasamasami jahanavi. Of the purifiers, I am the wind. Of those who carry weapons, know me to be Shri Ram of the Ramayana. Of the fishes, know me to be the shark. And of the rivers, know me to be the Ganga. Now, this is a very interesting verse. This is something this particular verse, I have discussed it with quite a few Swamis, and we cannot agree on it. Because the word makar does not mean fish.
Alligator?
That's right. Makar is alligator. So why would you say of the fishes I am the shark when the word is makar? That is the problem. Makar in Hindi means alligator. Makar in Sanskrit means shark.
Really? Okay.
Yep. The same word to different language, to different meaning. In Hindi, makar is alligator. In Sanskrit, it is shark.
Okay.
Sarganama dirantashta madhyama chaivaham arjun adhyatma vidya vidyanam vada pavadatamaham. Of created beings, Arjun, know me to be the beginning, the end, and the middle. Of the science, know me to be the science of the self. Who am I? And those who debate, know me to be that ability to reason. Aksharana makarasmi dvanda samasikasya cha ahamevakshaya kalo dhataham vishwato mukha. Of the letters of the alphabet, I am the first letter of the alphabet. I am time which cannot run out. And I am the dispenser, Arjun. Mrityu sarvaharashtasmi udbhavascha bhavishyatam kirita shri vakyanadinam smriti meda ditikshamaha. I am that which is called Mrityu, all devouring death. I am the prosperity that exists in those people who are prosperous in accordance with the scriptures. Prosperity in accordance with scriptures is a different prosperity than scheming and wheeling and dealing.
Quite so.
Right? And these qualities, Arjun, for some strange reason, when I asked the Swami, why are these qualities called female qualities? Which is fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, and forbearance. Why these are called female qualities? And his answer was, let us look at the word Take out the word quality and leave it as female. Just leave female alone. Forbearance means somebody who could bear real pressure. Women could do that. They take and take and take until they really get pushed over the edge. So it is a quality that could humble you. And to most men like us, we sit down and play, we are scholars. Until you meet a woman who's smarter than you and you get humble like a pie. So she is that intelligence. She's smart enough to know she knows more than you. And she knows when to talk. The problem with men is that God gave them a mouth and he didn't give them a combination lock for it. They just blabber. Women have more memory than men. You never hear people say, well, when your daughter wins she scholarship to do medicine, what people say? I have to tell you exactly what they tell you. She gets the mother brain.
Yeah.
Well, answer your question.
Well, they say intelligence comes from the mother, and not the father.
I don't care what they say. I'm telling you.
I don't mind.
Listen, because they tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
When my children reach wherever they reach, they say, well, at least they get a mother brain.
Yeah.
Right? Fortune. A woman is a person who could take nothing and make millions with it.
Yeah.
A woman could make you famous and she could break you. So this is why these qualities are called
treated as female.
Treated as female qualities.
Yeah. Female traits, yeah.
Yeah. Brihatasama tatasnanam gayatri chandasamaham masana margashito aham hritum kusumakaraha. In the Samved, there is a hymn that is called Brihatasam. Those who are professional musicians, that is something they have to learn, the Brihatsam. They just always talk about that. Like I never knew until it was explained to me one day. I was looking at a sitar. And I said, well, this had to be the stupidest instrument that was ever made. Right? And the fellow watched me from head to foot. Do you have a pen and paper? I said, yeah. So I had a sheet of paper. He said, no, I mean paper where you could write. I said, yeah. He said, look at that. He said, no, you can't write what I want to tell you. Go and get a notebook and come back. And he explained every single piece of the sitar. Which is the Saraswati, which is the Ganesh, which is this. And when he finished, he was right. Our notebook was too small. I say, oops, the pundit's stupid, not the sitar. We say it's stupid because we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Right? And when we get enlightenment from it.
And that's a serious issue. There are many people who make pronouncements on very, very, very profound issues, profound scriptures, profound verses, in ignorance.
I'll give you a little instance of that. I was reading Mahabharata in the Yagya, the first Mahabharata Yagya I was doing. First time I do Mahabharata Yagya. And I said, Bhishma sit down on his chariot. I'm just saying 1 mile down the road. And Arjuna in his chariot here, 1 mile away from him. And Bhishma shot an arrow with the intention to kill Arjuna. And Arjuna shot an arrow back at Bhishma. Both arrows met in the air and collided and blew up. And people said Hinduism is mumbo jumbo and stupidity. Maybe at that time it was mumbo jumbo and stupidity. But right now I'm looking at the news and I am seeing Russia sent a drone into Ukraine. And Ukraine sent back a drone and both drones meet in the air, collide and blow up in the air. That is not mumbo jumbo now. You understand?
Yeah.
So we had this science thousands of years ago. Modern people are now, this science is now being revealed to people. But we had this science, even we didn't understand what it was. He says, of the meters that are chanted, I am the Gayatri. The Gayatri mantra is the most potent mantra in Hinduism. And the explanation given, I'll give you a simple explanation to the Gayatri mantra, not the real explanation, the simple explanation. We meditate upon that Supreme Lord who is illuminating the three worlds and is worthy of our worship. He is the remover of all sin and the destroyer of ignorance. May he illuminate our intellect and guide it in the proper direction. That is what the Gayatri mantra is for. To connect to God. from that mantra, you will have all the other mantras.
Yeah.
But if you have not connected to the source, you will have your energy, right? But in keeping you using up your energy, it will burn out one day. The Gayatri mantra is the source to keep that energy, the charger for the battery. And it is amazing, in my opinion, it is very amazing sometimes when I hear the chanting of the Gayatri mantra, how it is chanted. Sometimes I don't know if to laugh or just be amazed that they really don't know what they're saying. I remember recently, there was a program on television where the Mahamrityunjay mantra was chanted. And they were showing you different places of worship, different mandirs doing it. And I heard a version of the Mahamrityunjay mantra that every time I hear that word Mrityunjay mantra, I laugh. Trayambakam yajamahe Sugandim putri varadanam.
Putri?
Yeah. Urvaduka meva bandhanat mrityora mukshma amrita.
Meva too.
Yeah. So what I am praying to Lord Shiva for...
I didn't see that.
I am showing you, I have it on... I learned how to tape from the television.
Viewers, just for completeness, that's not IETV. Eh?
No. No, whether it's IETV or not, it's not the TV.
Yeah.
It's the person who's saying it.
At IETV too, we are very careful of our broadcast.
No.
Broadcast, yeah.
What I'm saying is the person. And I am saying, this man really doesn't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a senior pundit in the country. And he related the same incident to me. I said, so why didn't you correct it? He said, are you mad? You cannot correct these people. And there is no mantra begins with Trayambakam. There is no mantra in Sanatana Dharma that begins with that word Trayambakam. None. The word is Trambakam. It's a half tra. Trambakam yajamahe. Not Trayambakam. You're trying nothing.
Yeah.
It's Trambakam. So when your intention is good.
Yeah.
But if you are doing it wrong, you cannot get the right answer. So this is why he says, of the months, know me to be that month which is called Margashish. And there's a reason he chooses the word Margashish. Margashish in English is really December into January. Margashish is when the Gita was revealed. Margashish is the month where in what is called Brahm Mahurat, 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, there is no dust in the atmosphere. It is the perfect month. When you really look at it worldwide, December is really a different month. To all, for whatever reason, it is really a different month to all the other months in the year. And this is the reason he gives. Know me to be that Margashish. And, of the seasons, know me to be spring. I know people who never went nowhere for vacation in their life. And they hear some story about a place called Holland, where in spring, the tulips bloom. And they just fly out to Holland just to see the beauty of these tulips. Gyutam chalayatam asmi tejasa tejasvinamaham jayasmi vyavasayasmi sattvamasattvavatamaham. Now, this verse has been argued by many people. To those who are scamp, I am the gambling in that. So the Gita says, Lord Krishna supports gambling. Not at all.
Yeah.
He's never said that. There are certain forms of gambling. Gambling is luck and chance. But there are certain forms of gambling that need skill. Real skill. He says, I am that skill. So it's not that I'm a gambler. I am the skill of gambling.
Successful gambling, yeah.
The skill, I am that skill. I am the splendor of the splendid. I am the victory. I am the effort. I am the goodness in good. Vrikshinam vasudevasmi pandavanam dhananjaya muninamapyaham vyasa kavina mukshana kavi. Of the Vrishnis, know me to be Vasudeva. And I think this would have shocked Arjun. Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Of the Pandavas, I am Arjun. I am you. Of the saints and sages, know me to be Vyas. And of the great seers in Sanatana Dharma, know me to be Usan. Usan is the guru of the Rakshas, Shukracharya.
Shukracharya.
I am Shukracharya. Shukracharya was really a true guru. And I'll explain why he was a true guru. They had to destroy these demons, and they couldn't destroy them. Nobody could, not even Lord Vishnu couldn't destroy them. And they took the son of Brihaspati, the guru, and sent him to Shukracharya. For Shukracharya to teach him how to bring the dead back to life. And when he went, he told Shukracharya, he says, you know who I am? He said, no. He said, well, I am the son of your enemy. He said, you are the son of my enemy. He said, you were the son of my enemy before you reach here. When you reach here, you are my student. You are not the son of my enemy. Whatever you come to learn, I will teach it to you, knowing fully well that one day it will be used against me. That is what a guru is. That is what a true guru is. He doesn't see people in this narrow way that we look at things. He sees the universal picture.
I think this ties into the point you made about ensuring that knowledge is passed on.
That's right.
Because if you've spent an entire life, how many thousands of hours learning Gita, studying Gita, discussing with others, had you not decided to come and share this knowledge?
What would have happened to it?
Right? What would have been the benefit to the society? Had you not, yourself, and I mean not personalizing it totally, but all teachers in that way, who actually give of themselves.
Panditji, with all due respect, we're going to die very soon.
Well, I hope not too soon. But
Well, these not wood you're knocking. These laminate wood. These not real wood. That'll get more around knocking. But when I say we're going to die soon, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't mean
we're
tomorrow.
all finite. Yeah.
I don't mean tomorrow. And if 50 years from today, somebody could look at this program and learn something from it, we would have accomplished everything that our forefathers, when they left India in 1845 to come here, whatever their intention was, we would have achieved it for them.
And I think it's very important that we be as a community and pundits as a institution ensure that the knowledge that they have is transmitted to future generations. And this idea, in chapter 18, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, he who teaches and preaches Bhagavad Gita does me a great service. I mean,
anybody who has done anything worthwhile is something really to treasure. And I'll take you back to when we first met. When I did the Sanskrit Ramayana.
yeah.
Most people don't know. I have never sat on a singhasan unless I was prepared for it. I only did that once, unprepared. And I'll give you the story of that. There was a Pandit in Devi we used to call Dari Baba. Pandit Ramprasad Tiwari.
Yeah.
He did my wedding. Nice man. People said a lot of things about him. To me, he was good. And he was reading a yagya for a very popular family in Devi. And my wife said she wanted to go Devi by she aunt. I said, well, there's a good opportunity. I'll drop you by your aunt, and then I will go in the yag.
Right.
So I had on a jeans and a t-shirt. What do you call a merino? And I went to the yag. And when I went, I saw the Pandit sitting in a hammock and he was trembling. I said, what happened to you, man? He said, boy, I don't know. I sit down here and I get a fever. He said, I can't read no yag tonight. Go ahead and read. I said, look how I dress. He said, people that come to see what you look like, you know. People want to hear something. That is the first time I went on a singhasan unprepared. And the only time I ever did it. After that, I was prepared. I do my research. I don't just sit down and talk by vaps. And when I ask you if you want a copy of this Sanskrit Ramayana, what do you say? I went and had it print with your name on it. that this is Maniedeo Persad, this is not Vickramaditya Maharaj, this is Maniedeo Persad. If I keep that to myself, what use that is to me? None. That will pass from you to another generation.
Yeah.
So this is why he says, of the gurus know me to be Shukracharya. He never discriminated. He shared that
Whoever
knowledge.
wants to learn, yeah.
Dando damayatam asmi niti rasmi jigishitam maunamachai masmi gukhyanam jnanam ajnanavatamaham. Of the punishers know me to be the scepter. For those who seek victory, I am statesmanship. I am the greatest secret in the universe. Silence. In which time I ask people to get up 3 o'clock in the morning, put a chair in their yard, sit on that chair with the palm of both hands on their knee, and breathe as slow as you could breathe. And you will, it won't happen the first time, but in a few times that you keep trying it, you will actually hear your heart beating. Try it. And if you hear your heart beating, it means you're on the right path. If you hear it beating, there's a possibility you could be dead, even though you're walking. Even though you're walking. You ever about living dead? And I am the wisdom in those who are wise. Yachachapi sarva bhutanam bijamataddam arjunam natadasti binayatsyan maya bhuta characharam. Whatever life that exists in this world, Arjun, I am the seed of that life form. There is no being in this world, whether moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. Nantasti mama dibbyanam vibhutinam parantapa eshatu dveshata prokto vibhutira maya. There is no end, Arjun, to my manifestation. There is no end to it. And what I have given to you is only a brief description of that. Only a brief. One of the things, if we go back one verse, we'll go back to verse 39, just the verse before that. You ask people to explain how is life divided. They cannot explain it. Life is divided into 4 groups. There are 4 groups of life. One which is born from egg, one which is born from the womb, one which is born from sweat, and one which comes from the earth, like Baji and all of it.
So, yeah.
Right? That is how life is divided into 4 groups. And in those 4 groups, there are 8,400,000 species. And Lord Krishna tell Arjun, Nata dasti binayasyan, not a single one could survive without
him.
And we all connected somehow. Yajyadi bhuti matsatvam Shri Maradurjitameva Tatadeva nagachatam mamatejo sashambhavam. Whatever being that exists in this universe, be it glorious, prosperous, powerful, they have all sprung from a spark of my manifestation, Arjun. A spark. That one spark covers 8,400,000 living species. One little spark takes care of all of that. And you want to know how powerful God is? You think Sant Goswami Tulsidas was an idiot when he wrote Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta? What part of boundless don't you understand? And you want to describe the glories of God? And a simple thing as Hari Ananta. God boundless, there's nothing to explain. There is nothing to explain with God. It is boundless. It is more than all the humans in the world put together, with all the intellectual power they have. That is as far as they could reach. They're going beyond that.
It will still be insufficient.
Well, they're going beyond that because they have not reached what is Ananta. What is Ananta? Atava bahunaitena kimagyatena Arjuna Vishtavyaha midamakretsam ekam shenastito jagata. What is the need, Arjun, to learn detailed knowledge? What do you need for that? I am the one who supports this entire universe with a fragment of myself. Do you want to know more than that?
That's enough, yeah.
That fragment alone is enough. You know, sometimes we listen to bhajan and people sing strange things in bhajan. Strange things. I hear one singing recently. I went to do a funeral on the creek. Like they only had the Indian arrival program and I get wet and I thought I couldn't come. Jyoti Bindu. Paramatma se ay meri atma ab chal kar le milan. You telling this body to go. We will meet again. Really? When you're going to meet that again? But I mean, we say these things and it just sounds nice. So here he's saying, a single fragment of me supports every life in this universe. Whether you think about God with a form or whether you think about God without a form, you cannot go beyond that little fraction. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vibhuti Yognam Dashamo Adhyayah.
Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahm, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 10th chapter entitled The Yoga of Divine Glories. As we conclude our program today, we pray that the blessings of Sri Krishna and his might, majesty, and glory become evident to each of us. As we conclude, if you have any questions, you can call Pandit Vikramji at 652-1043, or you can WhatsApp questions or comments to 784-9880. Again, as I conclude, we must thank all our sponsors who make it possible, in part, for the presentation of this series. Jai Shri Krishna.